evening. I'd like to call this meeting for the city of San Juan at 6 p.m. May you rise for invocation. Mr. Juan.
Holy Father, please bless this meeting and all its members. Thank you for allowing us to meet tonight and come to Christ to know. We trust that you are good and wise. Place this meeting in your hands. Give us courage so that we can effectively at this part of the place agenda. This will bring this in his name. Amen.
Amen. Face the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, ladies. Do you have any public comment?
Mayor, Commissioners, good evening, staff, family members. Before we start, let me just say that over this past week, I want to commend the team for the hard work that they did. There was a couple of days that took place during the city of San Juan. They responded effectively. They took care of the matter that they were pretty at hand. I want to congratulate the chief and his staff. Well work done, sir. Thank you so much for doing that. I know that it was not even 10 hours later, and you guys accomplished what you have to accomplish. So I want to thank you for that. And moving on to the presentation, the first item, we have a presentation of proclamation proclaiming the month of May 2024 as Mental Health Awareness Month.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioner, Juan, Rick. As you well know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And with this in mind, we did it last year, right, where we did a proclamation, but we want you all to know because we don't forget about doing it throughout the year and doing presentations for our employees. We do have, even with the new insurance carrier, we still have an employee assistance program. So they're fully aware of it, it's been utilized, and it's really well used, really well used. We also have someone that's here present, Dr. Puente. He's going to be giving a brief presentation on mental health awareness. So if you don't mind, I'd like to give you just a little bit of information regarding presentations we're going to be having in May, since May is mental health awareness. So they're going to be held on Wednesday, May 22nd. We have sessions in English and Spanish for all our employees to attend. At this time, I'd like to just share with you a brief bio regarding Dr. Puente. He is He grew up in Alamo and attended PHJ ISD and attended the University of Notre Dame, earning a bachelor's degree in psychology, pre-medical studies. He completed a specialized master's degree in school psychology from the University of Texas Pan American, followed by a doctoral degree in clinical psychology from DePaul University in Chicago. He completed his pre-doctoral internship from the University of New Mexico Health Science Center in Albuquerque, focusing on forensic evaluations and cultural issues in psychological wellness. He worked for the Dallas ISD Department of Psychological Services while completing his dissertation on the possible causative factors related to the development of violent and non-violent juvenile offending among Mexican-American youth. He has subsequent publications, including authoring a chapter on positive behavioral and structural support for gang-affiliated youth, and a parenting book on children's social emotional development, which is also available through Amazon. Dr. Puente has been in independent practice in the Rio Grande Valley since 2010 and in the city of San Juan since 2022, providing individual psychotherapy to adolescents, adults specializing in anxiety-based disorders. He also provides adult and adolescent competency to stand trial assessments for Hidalgo County, disability assessments for the state of Texas and the Veterans Administration, as well as level 3 pre-employment psychological clearance evaluations for several police departments across the Rio Grande Valley, including the city of San Juan. He is also active in the PSGA community, serving a civil service commission with the city of FAR. Overall, he has experience of over 26 years. He's located, again, in San Juan. So with this in mind, I'd like to turn it over to him so he can give you just a brief information of who he is and what he's going to be doing for our employees.
thank you, everyone. Appreciate the opportunity to be able to come and share some information with you all. I'll try to keep it brief, but if you know me, I have a very hard time keeping it brief, so forgive me if I go over my time. Well, first, it's important to consider mental health and mental wellness. Over the last 15 years or so, the increase in mental illness has been skyrocketing, in particular since 2019, since COVID. We see it among our youth and we see it in our adults. A survey that was conducted by CNN Health has found that 90% of the people surveyed think that there is a mental health crisis in the United States. And this was done in 1922. A year later, we see that there's information that shows that between 2019 and 2023, it's been very stable and high among 18 to 34-year-old folks in the number of mental health issues that they experience. And older folks are not immune to it either. And despite all this, there's still a dearth of mental health professionals that are available to provide services to help folks minimize and reduce the impact of these mental health issues. And in particular, we see depression and anxiety. And depression and anxiety often stem from stress, psychosocial stress, as we like to call it in psychology. Psychosocial stress stems from many of the factors in our own lives. And over the last 2 years, one major factor has been interest rates going up. We see that prices are going up across the board. And many of us are trying to make sense of this. And it causes us to feel anxious. Now, anxiety comes, we all do. We all feel anxiety. And anxiety, if it's chronic and if it impairs our function, then we have to really look at it. If it's done over 2-3 weeks, then we really have to pay attention to it. The same applies to depression. Depression is highlighted by sadness, and not just sadness, because we all feel sad. In particular, people who like the Dallas Cowboys. You've all felt very sad over the last year, correct? I'm sorry, folks. I hope I didn't hit somebody right there in my heart. Let's stop right there.
Let's go ahead and reschedule.
But if sadness persists over 2 weeks, and if it persists at a level that impairs our sleep and it impairs our ability to function and socialize, then someone should find remedy for it. We often look at medications for it, but there's also other ways that we can do it. And I always emphasize doing psychosocial changes, that is, in changes in our own lives, but as well as doing changes in how they see their problems and being able to affect their problems before just taking a pill in order to minimize the effect of the problem. The pill covers the problem, it doesn't take away the problem. We have the capacity to do that. And this is what I want to share with your employees, is that where we have the capacity to affect our lives and to improve our mental health, not in the short term, but over our lifespan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As I mentioned before, this is something that we're going to continue doing throughout the year. We continue with the efforts and to let the employees know that the commission is taking this seriously and is there for them.
So how are you going to let the employees know? What exactly?
What we
Do you wait till someone comes forward and wants to talk about, what they're going through? Or is it just something that you notify them on a monthly basis?
On a quarterly basis, what we do, and we remind department heads at the directors meeting that if there's employees that need assistance, just reach out. All of the ones, the sessions, they get free sessions. All those are strictly confidential. We don't get involved in that. The only time we get involved is when we have to facilitate an appointment or help them out. A lot of times employees don't want to reach out, don't want to do it online, or don't want to call. So that's the only thing that we do at HR. We just facilitate the appointment for you.
There, it is helping out. There's been employees reaching out, 91, 13, So this is what coming over to the city. We appreciate you guys supporting this because, you know, it's very close to me. And it is a good activity, good program to recognize, to be able to refer them to the experts. Not the experts, but they are. But if we can actually, our department heads committee, recognize one of those social, not social, those emotional, depression, anxiety, that they need something we can refer them to a professional and not us. But it is helping out. So we're very appreciative of you guys supporting this, particularly mental awareness. Because like I said, it is helping our employees.
Just like,
And it's for the employees, it's for their families, for their children. They get free sessions. That's part of the EAP. Dr. Puente has been kind to help us out as well with those presentations. And we also do other presentations throughout the year through different facilities and different entities.
So before that, our directors keep an eye on all your staff. I know some departments are a little bit more stressful right now. I know PD's been in the limelight a lot, so I do encourage Chief Cifuentes to keep an eye on your team. Just with all the stuff that's been going on recently, you know, I know Chief Bars also, you have a lot that goes on in your department, but that's across the board. So always keep an eye on your staff. Always keep an eye on your staff and yourselves as well, because you as directors, I mean, it's a stressful position, but just keep an eye for each other and for your staff. That's really, really important to say that we keep focusing on our departments.
And it's our job to encourage them to reach out. Because a lot of times they don't know the term. They don't think that there's anybody out there or that there's a cure. They don't even know that they may have any type of mental health challenge.
well, I really think that this message needs to come across, whether it's monthly or weekly, just informing your employees. Not only that, just what Dr. Puente is out advocating, and this is his profession. This is big. He's absolutely right. This is huge. This is a serious matter, you know. And I just feel that not only in our community, but communities across the state, the nation, we need to be more of a proactive approach on this. This is an awareness. We really need to constantly be talking about it.
Yes, sir.
And it's okay. It's okay to talk about it, you know, because I know in our culture we tend to hold back, you know, and it's just in our culture, and we don't like to share our feelings or what we're going through, but we really need to stress and let everyone know that it's okay. You know, we're here to help and we're here to talk to them. And I appreciate your work, sir. Thank you so much.
It's like I mentioned, it's not just for our employees, it's also for our families. A lot of times, you know, they're afraid to reach out, and, you know, for them, but really for their sons and daughters,
Correct.
for their, you know, husband, wife, it doesn't matter, anybody from their family.
If we can send like a reminder, like I said, weekly or monthly, or just, you know, to your employees or directors, just, hey, we're here for you guys. You guys need anything, you know, we're here to talk. You know, we have some professionals here, so we can just constantly, you know, just let them know.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, proclamation, Mental Health Awareness Month. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Since its inception in 1949, Mental Health Awareness Month has been a cornerstone of addressing the challenges faced by many Americans living with mental health illness. Approximately one half of chronic mental illness begins in the age of 14 and three quarters by age 24. It's unfortunate that suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in our country and second leading cause of death among young people aged between 10 and 24. 90% of people who die by suicide have an underlying mental illness. Let it be known that 1 in 5 adults experience mental illness each year, and 20% of children and young people ages 3 to 17 have a mental, emotional, development, or behavioral disorder, and yet half receive treatment. The time is now to raise awareness for those who continue living with these challenges and to help reduce the stigma associated with mental illness. It must be understood, perceived, assessed, treated, integrated, and must provide critical investments by our city to expand access to mental health education. By investing, they will learn alongside their peers in school, work side by side with their coworkers to get the job done, and participate and continue to our community in meaningful ways. Those who experience mental health conditions are an important part of the fabric of the city of San Juan. And whereas our employees, their children, family, friends, and colleagues have at one time or another been particularly affected by some of the symptoms, which include anxious or worried with some form of stress, depression, or unhappy emotional outbursts, sleep problems, weight or appetite changes, being quieter, withdrawn than usual, substance abuse, and feeling guilty or worthless. More than ever, parents continue to express concerns over their children's mental well-being, which has a ripple effect on their families and friends. Children in military experience mental health condition at rates higher than the general population. And whereas the city of San Juan has a duty and responsibility to care and reach out to one another, we must reach out to those employees, family, friends, colleagues, and loved ones that are battling these challenges. We must share the burden of mental health and have a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support prevention efforts. And whereas the stigma surrounding mental health conditions is one of the main barriers to seeking help and treatment, the city of San Juan is committed and cares for its employees and their families and stand in solidarity with those of you and us that are experiencing these challenges and need assistance. Remember, you're not alone, will not be left behind. You will recover, and we will do this together. Small steps can lead to big progress in mental health. Let's all be a part of this.
Now therefore, be resolved that I, Mario Garza, by the power vested in me as mayor of the city of San Juan, along with Mayor Pro Tem Mark Villegas, Commissioner Neto Guajardo, Commissioner Dina Santiago, and Commissioner Lenny Sanchez, issue this 22nd day of April 2024, proclaim May 1st through May 31st, 2024 as Mental Health Awareness Month. Take the note. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
We're gonna count three. 1, 2, 3.
Before you leave, Dr. Puente, I'd just like to make a comment and I'd like to inform not only our staff, but the community of San Juan. I don't know if you guys know this, but Dr. Puente was one of our best running backs PSG ever had. Just give him a big round of applause. I remember those days. Go ahead, sir.
So, moving on, under item B, presentation on departmental reports, now we have Public Finance, Fire Department, Police Department, report, and utilities, whether available for you, questions for you.
Any questions for the directors at this time?
Just with regards to on the potholes, I know that we're getting some, well, we're planned for it to be, but now some rain is coming in. But we're on top of that now. I know all the streets are starting to get paved in partnership with other counties. But as far as the potholes go, I think, you know, we have discussed maybe immediately working on those.
The mill's not working, but we got some material to cover, we're covered.
And so they're not just gonna cover right now because we cut. They'll be,
If you want something fast, it's milling, and you want it it's a slower
But
process.
we want it,
We want it the way we're doing now.
we want it right. I don't know, fast or slow, doesn't matter, we want it right.
Yes, sir.
So whatever it takes to get it right. Now, the response to it gotta be fast. And I'm not saying that it's gotta be, but responding to the constituents, responding to a pothole, gotta be fast. You can't let that happen. But if you're right, if it takes a little bit of time, because you're doing it the right way, then so be it. As long as it's done the right way.
We're covered.
Thank you, boss.
We'll make sure we do that.
Anybody else? Any questions?
Yes, Mr. Garza, remember Hackberry? You were supposed to buy the arrows and the signs because the street did not line with the street coming back from Hackberry, going through Veterans and coming through the church. Remember you were supposed to buy some signs and they've been more than 6 months. Do we have anything that you've done already? Remember, that street belongs to the city. We need to rule the fence. And I believe we had already gone through the city.
I got all the signs for Hackberry. I'm waiting for you guys to make the
No,
decision.
we already did. It was approved already.
I haven't gotten any
So now,
word.
was that approved?
Yeah, so what I think we need to do.
We're ready to open it up if you want to open it up. We got all the signage, we got the markers. I bought everything that was last week when I was told at the beginning. We're waiting for council to respond to.
Okay, and that's what I was about to say, Mr. Juan, in reference to, there needs to be a certain letter.
We cannot just do it from one day to the other.
Exactly, and let me ask you this, has that letter been sent? Okay,
There's been
so,
communication, but the letter, as far as, we weren't ready to send that letter out until we had the alignment, because obviously you didn't want to open up the fence, because I don't know if you're aware, but the streets don't align with each other.
no, I get that,
They're also by like 5 feet.
but what I'm trying to say is that was the issue that you guys were supposed to look at.
Yes.
In reference to the letter and sending it to the.
And tell them that we're basically going to, not take, but basically let them know that his property, his personal property is gonna have to come down.
Correct.
To,
But none of that's happened yet.
not yet. We've
But
had
it's in the
those
works.
discussions. Yes, we've had those discussions, but we're good to go with that, so now we just want to make sure that he's placed on notice that he can come back and try to sue us for taking down his personal property.
Exactly, okay. So then we'll just wait until we
We're gonna,
get a response or
I
what
can
you
have it
said?
drafted, and I believe it needs to come from either director or the CM, letting Mr., I think it's an LLC, but I'm assuming that, Ramirez is part of the LLC that has that, subdivision that's there.
Yeah, because I remember that was a conversation, we last spoke about that matter, and we were waiting on that, so. Okay. Okay. Anything else? All right, go ahead, sir.
Under discussion possible action, we have a discussion possible action to approve the procurement of a replacement elevation solution to the library and authorize city manager to execute any agreements and budget amendment as needed. As you know, Mayor Commissioners, this item was approved in the budget session workshop, and it was approved in the budget. I think that the equipment that we have is pretty old, so we got 3/4 old buy board, just because of the cost of the equipment, it exceeds $100,000 a year. Price for credit card bill, so we're ready to start.
Yes, as Mr. Juan mentioned, the solution that's there right now is over 12 years old easily. I remember quite a few years back, we discussed that we can keep that equipment going. We've kept it going up until now, we're at a point where it's ready to die. So the solution we're bringing in is going to be more up to date, will be up to date, and it should put us into the next 5-10 years easily. We're going to replace just about everything with the exception of the big projection screen. That's a very big cost and it still works. But we're going to update the projectors, speakers, new cameras, amplifiers, everything else. We'll also put in new wireless mics with an actual button that you can turn on and off instead of it always being live. So that's going to help you guys as well. Outside of that, if there's any other questions or any questions.
How soon do you see this if it gets approved tonight? How soon do you see it coming in to be questioned?
According to the vendor, we're probably looking about 6 to 8 weeks to get all the materials in. And we'd have to schedule installation or removal and then installation within the time period between meetings. I'll give one Mr. Juan to see, we may need to relocate one meeting in the middle, so we could have at least 2 weeks. But these guys, they're gonna rent the lifts, they're gonna do all that kind of stuff to change out the speakers. Once they do that, then they'll just test everything, make sure everything's ready to rock, and put everything in place. So it shouldn't take too long. We've waited 12 years. So, yeah.
Any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve? All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
So next item, we have a discussion of approve emergency repair on station number 5, station number 22, and in the amount of $231,000 to execute all related documents.
Good evening. Discussion is possible action to approve emergency repairs on lift station 5 and lift station 22 in the amount of $231,000. District pipe of both of these lift stations have cracks that are minimizing the efficiency, the pump efficiency. These immediate repairs are necessary to preserve and protect the public health and safety of the residents of the city of San Juan. Staff requested quotes from 3 contractors with OMP Utilities submitting the lowest quote. Funding is available through the American Rescue Plan or fund. Staff is recommending it.
So repairing two, right? We're doing repairs to 2 of them?
Yes, sir. Lift station 5 and lift station 22.
So who double checks the work, that they're doing it properly? Who signed off on that?
The collection supervisor and then myself.
How long has it been since these have got repaired, do you know?
I'm not too sure. I think lift station 5, I think they're the original pipes. Lift station 22, I know for sure they're the original pipes. That one, lift station, I think was built like in 2004, 2005.
Any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve? All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
The next item, consider authorizing city manager to enter into a contract agreement with Lion Energy for consulting services and private negotiations for renewal of retail electric following a couple of minutes ago, we heard the presentation of Mr. Ramirez. This is the presentation where if you know, our current contract is not expired, but there's about 3 years, 2.5 years before it expires. To move over and for intervening provider, not provider, but the person working between us and the AEP that we already provide some of those services, which is not going to be as much cost to the city. Mr. Ramirez, here, if you have any questions.
Yeah, and the contract is so we can get started on the street lighting project and the other services that we assist. It's not necessary to go in and sign a new agreement, but monitor the electricity rates from here to like a year and a half and see where we are, just so we can be on top of that and be proactive, but to get started on the services that we can offer to the city right as of now, which is the street lighting program and making sure that we cover all areas that need lighting in the city.
And this is a big plus for us because we know we're not the experts when it comes to the street lighting. There's a lot of issues that are hard. So we'll be more
Yep, so,
You all be proactive on that. And
yeah,
handle all that.
we would get with one of the department heads and go from there to see who.
And I'm assuming you all have a relationship with
The TDSPs, yes, AEP and Magic Valley, and we'll work hand in hand with their engineers to get this started.
I know we've had residents that have put in the request because their light is out of their subdivision, and I mean, they're waiting 2 years of constant sending requests.
As soon as we get this started, we'll cover the areas that need to be covered.
Now, do you work with the state as far as any, like, grants and stuff like that?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, we will, when those grants do come out, we need the city to apply for them and go from there to assist, or we could use those monies to.
We'll be on top of that, right?
Yes, that's part of our consulting service.
What's the biggest amount that you got for any municipality or school districts?
On the grant side, they go up to 250,000, and usually, there's other grants for Texas Parks and Wildlife does, match a grant with this. So there's different grants that we can use for lighting. It's not necessarily just AEP. Texas Park and Wildlife does have those street lighting grants as well. So we identified those areas and go for that.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you, sir.
Next item under item D, discussion of possible action to accept and approve the preliminary design report of the police department building inspection. Next, we have these Brian Bolinas here with us, as we can talk about the police department. We're trying to move on to the presentation. Put up for Mr. Bolinas.
Yes, good evening. How's everybody doing today? That's good. I'm Brian Bolinas with ERO Principal and CEO. Along with me is Edgar Villanueva, your friendly neighborhood project manager. And we will present the findings of our preliminary design report for the expansion of the police department building. Want to let you know that we did not operate in a vacuum. We worked closely with Chief Cifuentes and his team, along with Ben and Danny, and received input from Commissioners Guajardo and Sandian at a meeting that we had. And what we're going to present to you are the results of all of those discussions and meetings with each of the individuals and teams that we worked with along the way. So if you go to the first page after the title page, it's a summary of the content. So we'll show you the site plan, how the building, expanded building is going to look on the existing site for the police department. And then we're going to go over the summary of the proposed spaces and a diagram showing you how those spaces are worked together adjacent to one another. Proposed exterior views, we have two renders that we're going to show you what they're going to look like in terms of the front and side perspective of the front of the building, because we are proposing a new facade for the building, and then the project schedule, in other words, how long it's going to take to get our construction documents done, and then move into construction, have the building done by a particular date. And then lastly, the budget verification that we went through in terms of the cost for the project. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Edgar, and I'm going to let him take over from here and walk you through these slides. He's the one that led the effort with ERO and your staff and teams.
Good evening, everybody. So here on the conceptual site plan, as you can see, the gray area is the existing building, and the blue volume is the new addition. So the idea here is to maximize the parking, because right now parking is a big issue. So we've coordinated with the specialized vehicles that the chief has, the additional units that are to be for future-proofing the parking lot. So all that has been accounted for, and there is also a designated parking for the judges for secured entrances. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the program space summary and diagram. So right now, the addition is 33,000 square feet. Here on the diagram to your right, the existing building will have some renovations done to it, especially in the entrance area. The main area that's going to get renovated in that space is the communication that is currently at the north facility will be inside the existing building. The other spaces are the Unicorp and the new lobby. So we're going to have two separate entrances. From there, we have the juvie and the detention area on the right side of the building.
I just wanted to mention, I forgot to say that we also worked with your union court judges on this development of the preliminary design report. I left them out.
Correct. So we have the juvie and the detention area on the right side with the sally pole. Again, this is all to maximize security, entrances. The other areas are going to be the lockers, the criminal investigations department, and the chief's administration suite. And we're also adding the evidence room and armory room. We've worked with the team to make sure that they're at the capacity that they need to be, and also future-proofing some of that square footage. So again, the addition is 33,000 square feet. If we move on to the next page, the existing building is 9,000 square feet, and based on the design intent, we're looking at about a 50% renovation. So that's the additional 4,500 square feet. The next page is the proposed design. So here we really took the idea of creating the two entrances, adding light to be able to show transparency and openness. We're keeping some of the details that we did for the city hall to make sure that all the buildings, the city buildings are connected. If you go to the next page, you'll see another perspective.
I just want to add that it's been great that we've had the opportunity to do the city hall and then flow some of the design elements a bit over to the fire station and now carry those over to the police department building with this renovation. So that those architectural covenants and that seamless look that goes from building to building is something that was important to Ben and his team that we carry over.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, sir.
Next time y'all meet, can you notify the whole commission? Because I know we have a 25, 26-year veteran who's in law enforcement, and I think, you know, him putting some kind of input, since he's got the experience, and he's an expert in that.
Yes, sir.
I think it'd be great if he would attend this meeting as well. That's one, and two.
Can I come out of that, Mayor?
Yeah, sure.
So when we move into construction drawings, the first third of it, we're going to be revisiting all of this, confirming all the spaces. We'll be confirming the design aspects of the building in that first 30% phase. So this will be an opportunity for you and anyone to be involved during that process.
Correct. And another thing I'd like to maybe suggest, if you can have this meeting sometime after 5 p.m., because I know myself and Commissioner Villegas and Lenny, we work all day, and you know, just hold a meeting at 10 in the morning or 1 or 2 in the afternoon. That's my suggestion.
Noted, we'll do that.
Okay, I appreciate it. You guys can do that for us.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and go into the schedule. So this is the preliminary design. Like Brian stated, the next phase would be schematic design, so we'll revisit, make sure everything is accounted for. So the idea is to get construction documents completed by end of August, so we can go out to bid in September and construction be from October to October. So October 24 to October 25.
So you'll notice that the schedule had earlier February, April in the preliminary design and beginning schematics in April. You know, we're getting closer to May now, so we're moving everything, expediting everything. It's about a month faster. But our intention is to hit the construction deadline in October. We'll just have to move faster and get everything done within 90 days. So you can go out to bid by October or September.
And here on the last page, you'll see the budget verification. So right now, we are anticipating roughly $300 a square foot. So for the addition, we're looking at 9.9 million. The renovation building, the 50% renovation would be at 1.35 million.
I just want to comment on this. There's a good news about waiting for this. If we'd have done this about a year and a half ago, this might have been closer to $400 a square foot. We're pretty comfortable that $300 a square foot is going to hold between now and October by bidding. Any questions?
No, just, I think we're good, you know. You can just entertain what I just mentioned.
Absolutely. We're going to accommodate that.
Okay.
Yeah, we will take care of
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has any questions.
You want to put the design back up of the front of the building? Do you mind doing that? We'll just hold that for just a second. I don't know if Chief Cifuentes wants to say anything or comment on any of this design that we did or the programming we did. Chief?
No, I just like the fact that this is part of the reason we wanted to see if we put the design in the front is so that people could be aware that the police station is there, because it kind of blocked off the area. That was one of the main things, so the citizens can know what happens, especially those that we get calls every day, get the exact location of the department due to the fact that Google still hasn't updated some of these departments since it's far. So that design itself, I mean, I think it's a good design in reference to that.
You talked about the logo.
The logo.
Yeah, plus it's going to have a lighting outside as well, so it'll be well lit in the evenings. That's almost kind of like around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening, right? That look that you're seeing right there. You can see some of the lighting hitting from the ground up.
You know, on the one prior to that?
This one right here, you can see the lighting on the right part right there. On the right side, you can see the light.
But they're right there in the front. Is there gonna be something there?
Yeah, yeah, we can get that lit. Yeah, we can even light the flags too.
So you're good with that, Chief Fuentes? Any other questions? So this is just, okay. Is there a motion? It's been second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
The next item, discussion of possible action to authorizing negotiating agreement with Euro Architects to proceed on the design and construction of administrative services for the extension of the
Same thing, yeah, follow up. Okay, with that being said, any questions for Mr. Juan? If not, is there a motion to approve? It's been second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next item, Mayor, is the consent agenda. We have the consider second time reading of ordinance for the public petition of the 6.21 acre of land at lot 12, school submission of Highway Gardens. Located approximately 200 feet north of Public Road along the west side of School Road. Investments, again, this is the consent agenda. Item, if you have any questions or you'd like to modify the full consent time.
At this time, is there anything we need to modify or amend on the consent agenda A? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Been second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Under executive session, we have according to the statutes and code section government school chapter 55171. Tonight we have item 1 pursuant to section 55187 economic development negotiations and deliberations regarding financial incentives for business project.
Executive. All right. With that being said, is there a motion to enter executive session? I'll second that. All those in favor say aye. We are entering at 6:42 p.m. Thank you. We're back from executive session. At this time, is there a motion to reconvene? I'll second that. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We're back at 6:56 p.m. Go ahead.
Yes, Mayor, Commissioner, and the items that we discussed, the section 55187 economic development negotiations, deliberations regarding financial incentives for business project. We can make a recommendation to proceed as in executive session. So that we know about the
So just based on what was recommended in executive session? Okay. With that being said, is there a motion? Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Is there a motion to adjourn? I'll second. All those in favor say aye. This meeting has been adjourned at 6:57 p.m. Thank you.